Yay! Welcome to another exciting episode of the Friday Night Hangout. And I'm your host, Joy Onyeso. If this is the first time you're joining us, welcome, 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 welcome. This is our weekly program where we discuss topical issues and we co-create solutions together. So welcome and get ready for an exciting time today. We're concluding our conversation on staying anchored. So this Friday is the last Friday in the month of April as we move into the month of May. And just to wrap up the exciting, beautiful, transformative month of April, we will be talking about positive affirmations. Yes, you heard me right. Positive affirmation as one way of staying anchored. Yes, I see you, Mr. Shola. I see you, Ezine Mba. Thank you for joining in. I'm excited this evening. If you can see, I'm in Lagos and we're having the She Speaks Summit. It's been an amazing time discussing the theme Just Believe. So I'm bringing that excitement into the Friday night hangout tonight. Woo! Okay, so this is 30 minutes packed. We're going to talk extensively. Most of us have heard the word positive affirmations, mantra, and for some of us who are not conversant with the word, you begin to wonder how it works and if it really does work, or if we just like it's just a rhetoric that we're talking about. And so we need to be very mindful that what we believe really does work. Let's kick off from the perspective of trying to unpack what positive affirmation is. What is positive affirmation? Positive affirmation are positive statements, you know, or mantras that you say to yourself. And by itself, positive affirmations are not enough to create that wow change or transformation that you require, but they are very helpful and supportive if you're already on your way to develop your personal brand or your business brand, or you also want to grow and expand life's opportunity. You know how this works. Let's look at how it works. Now, can you think of a challenging situation that you've gone through? And while you're still in the situation, you're telling yourself, oh, am I sure I can make this? I don't think so. I don't think that I have all that it takes. You know what happens? When you come to that situation every day telling yourself, I cannot make it. I don't think I'm good enough to bring myself out of this. I'm not enough. What happens is you begin to repeat it to yourself. The more you repeat it to yourself, the more you believe it. The more you believe it, the more difficult it is for you to look for solutions that can help you to overcome that challenge or barrier. You allow yourself to slip into a hopeless and helpless situation. And then you find yourself, if you're not careful, you fall into depression or into a state of hopelessness. So when you hear me say, I'm too focused to give up, I always tell you that it was birthed from a place of deep struggle. When I was going through my own life journey and I was in a point where everything seemed so dark, it looked as if I had forgotten the reason why I'm right here. I've forgotten my life's purpose. I was asking myself if life was even worth living at all. It was at that point of rediscovering myself and my purpose that I coined that mantra, I am too focused to give up. Each time I said these words to myself, what it did was it helped me to decrease the negative voice in my head. Because whether you want to believe it or not, we go through phases where we hear some negative voices and it keeps telling you you're not good enough, you're not worth it, you're not this, you're not that. That's why you find some people trying to validate themselves with others. They're trying to prove something to people. They're trying to defend things when they don't need to do that. It's from that place of not feeling that you're not enough, you're not worthy of certain things, and so you want to show it. So having a positive affirmation system helps you to go through a whole lot of issues, even in your business. When you look at your business, what do you see? What do you speak into your business? It's very important. The more you speak positive words into your business, the more those positive words become positive actions and you get your dreams or your goals manifested. So some people might just wave it off, or it doesn't matter, it's not real. Why don't you give it a trial? You see that mantra, too focused. Most of you know me as one who keeps saying too focused to give up. It has really been a light on my journey. Too focused to give up. When I come across situations that otherwise I would have said, you know what, I'm tired. I can't do this. I'll just tell myself, Joy, you're too focused to give up. So giving up is not an option for me. It's not on the table. How about you? What kind of positive words can you tell to yourself that will keep you anchored, that will not allow you to drift in the storm of life? Will there ever be storms? A whole lot of storms will come. As long as you're living, as long as you're breathing, you would always come across one storm or the other at certain points in time. And so your positive words to yourself, building that habit, helps you to have an internal support system. Let me show you how this works scientifically. Now, the brain has a reward center where when you keep telling yourself certain things, you believe it. That's how some people live in denial. When you say some people are living in denial, you know how? It's either they're in shock or they're in trauma or they're going through something. And sometimes when they lie a lot, there's some people you see, they lie so much so they don't even know what is true again. And you just think that they are doing it deliberately. No. They have formed a pattern of lying to an extent that they believe it. They believe that lie. They're living that lie. The same thing when people live in for some form of denial. They've gone through stuff and they can't even differentiate the truth. They just believe what they're going through or what they're thinking is the fact. You believe it over and over and over and over and over and over again. You keep saying it. Now, that's why our belief system is very important. Our actions are all guided by a belief system. Our thoughts, our actions are shaped by a belief system. If you believe that you can't achieve certain heights, then that's what it will look like. I was having a conversation with the VIP participants of the Shift 6 Masterclass yesterday, and I was talking about some of the belief systems you see, especially in our clime Nigeria, in the Southeast, South, where when they come across people who are very wealthy in the holistic sense of it, they begin to think that they've done something fraudulent or corrupt. It's a belief system. And perhaps it is shaped by some of the experiences they've had, that we live in a corrupt system where a lot of people, that they know or they've come across have done one fraudulent act or the other to make wealth. And so they project that onto anyone they see who appears to be wealthy. They'll just believe that there's some corrupt practice or fraudulent act they've done to get money. Now, let's unpack that belief system a little bit. What it means is those set of people have already limited themselves in acquiring an abundance because they feel that the only way they can become that wealthy is only through corrupt practices or corrupt ways. So you see, it already places a limitation as to how much they are willing to expend energy, expend time, expend resources to grow themselves or to grow their business to come to that level of abundance. So before you wave it off or dismiss it, I want you to have a review of your thought process. What really is your belief system? How has your belief limited you or opened you up to certain opportunities? You know how you're so energized and you're so confident when you believe something is true. You know how you speak up when you know something is true. How you go all out to support a sister or a brother because you know that what they're saying is true and you want justice for that person or you just want to support the person. That's a belief system that is at work and you're really playing it out. It's the same thing. How can we make this work for us practically in our personal life, in our professional life, or in our business life? Let's start examining some of the ways positive affirmation can help us. The first one is it can help you build your self-confidence. When you keep telling yourself that you are enough, I'm good enough, I'm worthy of love, you wouldn't go begging for love, you wouldn't go doing unusual things. And this is to speak to sisters, because some of the sisters believe that they're not good enough to be loved, they can't get into a better relationship, life will be miserable. You see domestic violence on the increase. Excuse me. You see domestic violence on the increase. And that's because they just believe that if they leave that site of violence, they can't be anything better than what they are, or they don't even deserve anything better than what they are getting. And until you change that thought process, until you change your belief system, it's so difficult to get the abuse victim to come out of that situation. So every change you want to see starts from your mind system, which of course will start from your belief system. So if you believe that you are confident, it will start showing up in your actions. The way you engage with people, the way you show up for your business, it will start showing up. It's not a rocket science. The second thing positive affirmations can do for you is that it helps you to get through challenging situations. When you're in a challenging situation and you're able to decrease the negativity that you get from within yourself, when you're able to decrease the volume of that negative still voice that will keep telling you that, you know what, this sickness you have, you're not going to get cured out of this sickness. You believe it. You will find yourself sinking into it. A sister once shared a story with me of how powerful a belief system is. She said a young man went to the hospital. He was sick, and then the doctor decided to run a lot of tests on him to eliminate a number of factors, or also to find out the underlying cause of his illness. And unfortunately, as it does happen from time to time, he got a wrong diagnosis. The young man was told that he was HIV positive. From the moment they told him that he was HIV positive, the young man became so sick, very, very sick. You know what has happened? Now, does HIV kill that fast? No. And of course, because most people believe that HIV kills, you can live a healthy life even when you're positive. It's only when it transits from HIV to AIDS, when you have the full-blown condition, then you begin to struggle with a whole lot. But once you can keep your counts low, you can live a normal, healthy life. But because that societal belief is you cannot be healthy, your life is over once you're HIV positive, he had that belief system. And immediately he was told that he was HIV positive, he became super sick. He couldn't even stand from the bed again. Everything deteriorated so fast within 2 days. What was happening? His mind, his thoughts, everything was at play. It was telling him that it's over for him, and he swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. And the doctor called for another test unknown to the young man because he saw the way the man was really going down so fast. He already knew, of course, he knew that a lot of things was playing out for him. Lo and behold, this was a young man that hadn't left the bed for 2-3 days. Immediately, the doctor came back to apologize that, oh, we made a mistake. We're so sorry. You are actually negative. This is the man that hadn't eaten and he jumped. If you see the energy with which he jumped out of the bed and he became well immediately. So do not underrate what your belief system or your thoughts can do to you. If you believe certain things, it forms a pattern in your life and it becomes a powerful energizer or a powerful distractor. So what you believe can take you through challenging periods. If you believe that you have all the resources needed, and even if you don't, that help is coming and that you will weather the storm and come out of it, you'll find yourself looking at ways of really helping yourself to come out. Once there's a will, there's always a way. With positive affirmation, you can create that will, you can create that pattern of always improving yourself or coming out of difficult, stormy relationships. Positive affirmation also helps you to attract certain things into your life. One of my very favorite words earlier in the day was to say, I'm a money magnet. You know how magnet attracts things to itself, right? You might say, what nonsense is she talking about? Now, when you believe it, you find that you begin to see opportunities where you ordinarily wouldn't have seen opportunities. You begin to see opportunities and you begin to attract a lot of goodwill towards yourself. So watch that belief. And one way of helping you to watch that negative belief and that, limiting conversations that you have is to develop positive affirmations. What are some of the affirmations that you could tell yourself? What are some of the positive affirmations you tell yourself? I've shared one with you. I'm a money magnet. Another one is I'm too focused to give up. Another one is what? Think about it and share with me. What are some of the affirmations you use that help you to get through life? I would like to see it in the chat box. Please put it in the chat box and I'll be excited to read it out. What are some positive affirmations that you tell yourself that has helped you to go through certain conditions, certain situations, or has even helped you to build your confidence to do things you ordinarily wouldn't have thought yourself capable of doing? Remember, we're talking about ways of keeping ourselves anchored. How do you stay anchored? In the next couple of days, a number of us will be trying out new ventures. A number of us will be looking at strengthening the ventures we're already doing. And it becomes even more important that you remain focused, you remain anchored while you're running through implementing your goals or your result-focused actions. This is one way also of making sure that you have positive affirmations that can support all the efforts you are making. Remember, like I said much earlier on its own, positive affirmation is not just enough to take you to the next level. It's not just enough to create that transformation that you seek, but it's a very critical component of the transformation that you want to create. You need to have a system of validating yourself. You need to have a system of being your own cheerleader. You need to have a system of being kind to yourself. And positive affirmations are some of the words or statements or mantras that you can use to always keep yourself top beat. You have to be your number one cheerleader. If you don't say you are, no one will say you are. So if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe that you're good enough, how then do you want some other person to think that you're good enough? It all starts from you. You need to be convinced that you're worth the effort, and then you show people how to value you, and you also create your boundaries. Otherwise, you allow life to toss you about, or you allow people to define you and stereotype you. And before long, you will start drifting. You will lose yourself. You will not even know who you are. Even when you look at yourself in the mirror, you begin to question, really, who am I? So I want you to really look inwards, understand who you are, stay grounded in your truth, and develop a positive affirmation system that helps you to run through life. Yes, that's when we're staying anchored. except you want to drift. And when you drift, you will not be happy, you will not be satisfied, life will lose meaning. You'll find yourself at a place where you can't even, you don't even know what next to do. Confusion will set in. A confused mind is a troubled mind. And I don't want your mind to be troubled. If you're not sure what kind of positive words to use on yourself, just think about this. What are some of the words that you love to hear? What are some of the things people will say to you and will make you smile, or make you feel happy, or make you feel energized to do more things? Why don't you learn how to say those words to yourself? Must you wait for others to say those words to you? No, you mustn't. You can as well say those words to yourself, and you see the difference it will make in your life. So, I'm asking you tonight, what are some of the positive affirmations you want to start using? I want you to think about 5 positive affirmations that you can use on your business, you could use to help you in your personal life, that will help you to stay anchored and not to drift no matter what. Stay anchored. There's still a lot you can achieve. It doesn't matter what is happening in your space right now. Once there is life, there is hope. Once you keep doing the work consistently and showing up, you wouldn't notice, but things will begin to shift little by little. And by the time you look back at where you're coming from, you will have no other choice than to celebrate yourself, because you would have seen how far you have moved. Oftentimes, we do not look at where we're coming from. We only begin to imagine that we're staying at a spot. You wouldn't know that you've been moving. You wouldn't know that you've been moving all along. You've moved. It might not be as fast as you think or as fast as you want, but the key thing is you're moving, you're making progress. So in concluding our conversations for this month, we looked at different ways we can stay anchored. We looked at networking. We looked at personal development, which will include building your capacity. We've also looked at positive affirmations. We've also looked at strategic relationships. So all these are key ways of making sure that you do not drift and you do not lose your focus, that you keep your purpose in mind. Do not forget the place of passion as an igniter. If you can remain passionate about that goal, if you can remain passionate about that dream, you will find yourself creating ways of ensuring that you achieve your goals. And while you're at it, just know that you can fail forward. What does it mean to fail forward? Failing forward means giving yourself the room to make mistakes and picking up the lessons from those mistakes, applying them to your future actions, and of course, they become the building block for your tomorrow's success. So be kind on yourself, be gentle on yourself. Learn how to practice self-love. You have to love yourself so intensely. You have to love yourself so much that you're willing to forgive yourself for whatever mistakes you may make. Some of us are so hard on ourselves. We have no room for growth, because when you don't have room for mistakes in your life, it means that there's no room for growth. Remember that mistakes are building blocks for growth. So if you eliminate mistakes in your life, then it means you've eliminated growth as well. There would always be learning curves, on life's journey. So don't forget, you need to stay anchored. Stay anchored. As we move into the month of May, be super focused to remain anchored and not to drift. You know why you started that business in the first place. stop being impatient with the growth process. Don't be quick to throw it into the trash can and say it's not working. I see people as a business, after 2 or 3 months, they're announcing to everyone that the business is not working. Who told you that it takes 2 to 3 months to create a major breakthrough? It takes hard work, consistency, time, patience, mistakes. Yes, you heard me, mistakes. So before I leave you tonight, I want you to list ways that you've determined you would do, or or the things you're committed, the actions you're committed to taking beyond this month to help you stay anchored. What are some of the things you want to do to make sure that you do not drift, to make sure that you stay anchored? And finally, what are some of the positive affirmations, positive words you have crafted for yourself? Think about it. Like I said earlier, what kind of words do people tell you that make you feel good inside of you? Why don't you start telling yourself that, Joy, you're so beautiful. You can do this if you really want to. Yes, I can. I'm too focused to give up. I am good enough to attract love. I am worthy of all the money I deserve. I am healthy, body, soul, and spirit. What kind of words of affirmation do you need to tell yourself? Write it down. Don't take these words for granted. You'll be shocked at how far these words will take you. So on that note, I want to say a very big thank you to you all. Thank you for tuning in to the Friday Night Hangout. It's been an amazing time having this conversation with you. The month of April has been filled with a lot of lessons. I look forward to seeing you next week, Friday, when we'll have a first episode in the month of May. Come prepared. And as always, know that I honor you, I love you, and I celebrate you. So look forward to seeing you next week, Friday. Till then, it's bye for now. Have a blessed weekend, and do remember to say your positive words of affirmation. Bye for now.